Okay, welcome back to SV Basic. Back in episode 21, we did an in-depth recap of how we built our galley. And we got a lot of positive feedback and a lot of requests to show other projects that we have completed on SV Basic. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to open this up to a 6-video series. The next video we will cover the upper head and go into some detail of why this is here, how we built it, construction, design elements, and go into some detail about this project. So stand by. Okay, let's talk about this area of the boat. The salon itself is a good sized salon, and it gave us a lot of options. Let me spin this around, give you an idea. We're able to squeeze in everything we wanted on the main salon. Not a lot of cats have a head on the bridge deck here, but we wanted one, and we wanted one for a reason. Last time we were cruising, it'd be nice to have a head close to where all the action is, rather than go all the way downstairs or to the bow of the boat to the head. So we decided we wanted to use this area for our head. Previous owners had used it for multiple other things. We found photographs on the internet that showed how this area really evolved over the years from owner to owner. We found photographs where it was used for a daybed for a dog. We found pictures that showed it looked like some sort of seat was trying to be constructed. When we purchased it, it was even different. So we came up with this design just from our own experience of what we wanted in a boat.
So our last boat was pretty awesome. I really loved it. And Teal did a great job doing everything in bird's eye maple. It was pretty amazing. So for our head, he kind of extended the design into there as well. But one of the things that I was a little afraid of was the smell of wet wood. I don't like the smell of that, and so we decided not to have a shower inside and opted for an outside shower. So solo showers for everyone, which was great when we were down in Mexico, but it got a little interesting and we had to get really creative when we were showering in an Anchorage with other cruising neighbors around.
When we're talking about how we came up with the size for this room, we really had to pay attention to access to the cockpit and access to the stairs. That dictated the size of this room. I could have pushed it that way further into the hallway because there is just storage there, but I also wanted to create storage. We came up with a size that we were able to squeeze everything into really efficiently. Okay, let's talk about how we constructed this. This is a fiberglass skin over a marine grade poplar veneer that is over foam and vertical grain fur. So what I did was I started with the vertical grain fur, and I did my layout of the room with 1x2 vertical grain. And I was able to insert all those in using epoxy and stainless pocket screws to hold the structure together. Now at this point, this is not what's going to give the walls the strength. The strength is going to come with the fiberglass cloth and the epoxies as we layer it over and blend it into the cabin top and into the deck. So the next thing we'd do after that was insert a high density foam. And I did that for a couple reasons. It's nice that you don't push on a thin 3mm veneer and be able to push through it. So that high density foam makes this feel solid. It gives you sound dampening. So this room is very insulated, very quiet. It gives you a nice surface, so when I'm bending this veneer around, it doesn't want to dimple in between the ribs. And it worked out pretty well. So the next thing I would do after the foam was take that thin 3mm poplar, it was a marine grade ultralight poplar veneer, and I glued it with West System with thickened epoxy and bent it around this entire perimeter. I did just the opposite on the inside. I'd actually do an inside bend on the inside. So this wall actually nets out at about 1 3/4 inch thickness. Let's talk about this vanity. When I built this vanity, first of all, a lot of people don't realize how long ago I built this vanity. It was a long time ago. But I built it using the same construction methods as I did the walls. I started with the vertical grain fir and framed out my cabinet box. I was then able to put in the foam core and skin it with the ultralight 3mm marine grade poplar skin. I did it loose so I could work on both sides of this and get the majority of the interior glassed before I permanently affixed it in place. Then I was able to wrap glass around this and blend it into the walls and into the deck.
So when we designed the head, my mom, she wanted a big counter space, so my dad had to get really creative. This is how you open it. There's the head, and this is how you close it.
Okay, let's look at the lighting in here. Lighting in a small room, it's tough to get lighting evenly throughout when it gets dark out. But we did a pretty good job on this. I built these light soffits, one here that's switched right here. We put under counter lighting in. And I built a light soffit in the shower. This one was a little trickier. To get the power to these lights, I would have to run a 92-foot lead if I wanted to switch it over here. That's a lot of extra weight. So instead, I put a waterproof switch right here and ran that power lead through this soffit here and down to the nearest lighting sub panel right here. You know, the downside is I can't switch it like a normal wall switch like I have everywhere else in the boat. That's the only switch that is switched differently. It drives me crazy, but it saved a lot of weight. Let's talk a little bit about the plumbing in here. Okay, in the shower, this is the Scanvic Aquafina. Comes with a mixer, which is nice. We actually have been using this for a couple years and it works real well. The plumbing behind the scenes here runs behind the headboard and down over to our hot water system, which is located on the back side. I've had enough room when I push this wall this way to put a water closet there. The galley, C-fit faucet with a Scanvic sink. This is a small sink, but this is a small area. It's 10 inches in diameter, but it's 7 inches deep. So the smaller the sink, the deeper you want to go. Keep water from splashing out. Now let's look at some of the plumbing behind the scenes. Pretty straightforward. Here's a little trick I like to do. Is anytime a plumbing runs through a horizontal surface, I'll raise that surface up. That's so if, let's say I develop a little drip here, and it drips down here. It contains it in here without following the hose down to the next surface down. So I could, if I see any water pooling, I know I have a problem. In fact, I do this every time a hose goes through a horizontal plane. It's a lot of work up front. I even put a future one in for this lead here. So if any of this plumbing leaks, it'll drip down to this pan here. And it'd have to fill all the way up before it starts going down to the next locker down. And hopefully I'll notice it before that happens. Now let's look at how that sink drains. Comes through to a through hole fitting. Pretty straightforward. Okay, the head we chose. We went with the sexiest head on the planet, the Jabsco manual. Well, we chose it for a reason. We could have put anything in here. We could have put electric, we could have put some fancy toilet in here, but you know what? We went with simple. And we went with simple for a reason. This head is probably the most widely sold head on the planet. And you could find parts anywhere. We were deep in Mexico and were able to find parts to this real easy. And so that's why we went with it. It's not pretty, it's not luxurious, but you know what? What you're doing in it isn't either. Okay, let's look at this wall here and why I placed it where I did. I could have ran that wall all the way out here and gained a lot more square footage in that room, but I was able to fit everything in there that I needed. By pushing that wall to here, look what I gained. I was able to put a nice towel locker. I was able to fit our fresh water system. Then by extending that floor, let's look in this locker. I extended the floor out quite a ways. And what it created was a locker large enough to put our, this is an electric, engine driven hot water heater. Our manifolds in here for the water system, and all your general plumbing. Below, even further, I was able to tuck this in here. This door you access through the bottom step. You pull this pin, and there's the holding for that head. We have one more holding tank forward for the master head.
Mirrors in this room are important because it's a head. we installed a full-length mirror right here. See? And then right here, this mirror serves two purposes. It's a mirror and it's a medicine cabinet.
Hey, Compass. Okay, now let's talk about the shower pan. When I designed the shower pan, well, actually, here's the best way to demonstrate it. And this is payback to Lynn.
What are you doing?
Hang on, we're doing a video here.
Oh my god! And you couldn't wait until I got out of the shower? Seriously?
This is the best way to describe how a shower works. Just trust me. I'm not showing a thing.
Nothing better show.
Let me wipe that screen off.
Oh my god.
Okay, when I designed the shower pan, I built it just like the rest of the wall. I used VG fir and layered the poplar on and then laminated multiple layers of glass cloth. I had to form the shower pan though, so everything sloped down to the drain. The bridge deck naturally wants to go, Compass, get out of here. The bridge deck naturally is sloped this way, so all I had to do is build up a little bit over here and over here to drain down. It worked out pretty good, don't you say, honey?
It's getting cold.
Okay, close the curtain.
I am so gonna get you back.
Sorry.
Alright, so before we get started, I have a message for Teal. I'm gonna get you back for what you did. You don't know when, you don't know how, but I'm getting you back. So you better sleep with one eye open, mister.
Uh-oh, the prank wars have begun.
Thank you so much for watching and following our journey. We are getting really close to setting sail. I can almost taste it. Almost.
And remember, if you liked the video, give us a thumbs up.
Be sure to subscribe.
And if you really liked it, check out our Patreon campaign in the link below. Come back next week for one of our awesome videos. See you then!
Bye!